Thank you very, very much, and thanks for the kind words. I appreciate that. I'm really honored to be here to help celebrate the grand opening. And so on behalf of Stockton University, let me begin by just saying congratulations. Congratulations on all of the work you have done, all of the work you are doing. The work that you're doing here, I think is it's bold, it's visionary, and it's deeply needed in South Jersey. And so I'm looking forward to our continued partnership, growing that partnership, and hopefully seeing more of your students and the young people that I've met here today engaged with the students and the community at Stockton. You know, I was just alluded to a couple of minutes ago. What you are seeing here is not just about machines or code, but at the end of the day, what we're really talking about here is people. We're talking about access. And as the president of an institution that is focused on access, similar to this institution, providing opportunity to individuals who otherwise may not have that opportunity. That's what this work is about. It's making sure that educators and job seekers and entrepreneurs and families in our region are not left behind in the AI economy. And that mission, to make innovation practical and inclusive, I think aligns beautifully with Stockton's own vision and values, and Ideal's vision and values as well. 55% of the students who have just entered the first year class at Stockton are first generation college students. That is not insignificant. The students that we serve, the students that Ideal serves, are generally students who are first generation college students, the same with our friends at Atlantic Cape. And so we are providing opportunity not only for individuals to be successful in a time where they may have not had those opportunities, but more importantly than that, we are making an investment in the future of this region of the state. Students who are educated here generally stay here, work here, live here, and as I often remind legislators, pay taxes here and vote here. That is important because they are the future employers and employees of our region, of our community. Now, at Stockton, in our new strategic plan, we have pledged to prepare students to become self-sustaining, engaged citizens, and to be recognized as an innovator representing the future of public regional higher education. And that means that we have a responsibility to embrace technologies like AI, not as optional extras, but as essential tools for teaching, for research, for community progress. And we're moving boldly in that direction. Stockton recently launched an AI task force, now transitioning into a working committee to explore how AI can support both institutional practices and the classroom experience. And we're investing in training faculty in AI, exploring ways to integrate AI into our curriculum, and creating opportunities for students to apply these tools in real-world settings. But more importantly, we are forming partnerships. Partnerships with Ideal, partnerships with the National Aerospace Research and Technology Park, and partnerships to help establish an AI and unmanned system research corridor right here in South Jersey. Closer to home, through our partnership with regional leaders like Atlanticare, we are preparing the next generation of health professionals, and we see enormous potential for AI to amplify that work, improving diagnostics, expanding access, and strengthening community health. And part of that starts right here at Ideal, in partnership with Atlantic CAIT in partnership with Stockton. We've already seen these young people at work. And as Sam already said, there's some technical skills going on here. For those of us that don't have those technical skills, if we learn how to use, and not necessarily have to build, use the platforms, use the technology, we in turn can educate others on how to use the technology, and you'll be surprised at how easy it actually is. And for those of us of a particular generation, it's actually not that hard. And I continue to learn every day. And if I, as the president of Stockton University at the age of can learn, then anyone in this room and anyone in our community can learn. And so the work matters. The work that we do matters. The work of AI matters because it is transforming every sector of our economy. So for example, in education, it's helping teachers personalize learning. And this is important because individuals are like, oh, it's AI, therefore it must not involve people. It must not involve relationships. It must not involve the personal interconnectedness. That is not true. The artificial intelligence connected with the humanity and human intelligence is a powerful, powerful tool. In business, it's giving small companies the possibility and the power to compete globally. And in healthcare, as I mentioned earlier, it's improving diagnostics. At Stockton, we see this same potential reflected in our Live, Work, Learn program in Atlantic City, where students gain housing and wages and career readiness. Imagine coupling those experiences, housing, the career readiness, the education. Imagine connecting all of those, linking those with AI skills. The impact on our regional workforce would be extraordinary. That's why today's launch is so significant. You are making AI approachable and practical right here in Pleasantville. You are showing that these tools are not reserved for Fortune 500 companies. I think it was Thomas in the next room who just said to me, is Thomas back there? Hi, Thomas. Who said to me while the other two gentlemen were showing me how to use hands and arms and interact with the robot, which was terrific. Thomas was saying, all of these parts that I built this arm with, I got on Amazon. Anybody can buy the parts, anybody can build the tool. That is extraordinary because it says to us, again, that the tools are not reserved for the big guys. They're just not reserved for the Fortune 500 companies or the research lab, but they belong in classrooms, in businesses, in nonprofits, in community centers across our region. This work proves that innovation and equity can move us forward and must move us forward. But those are two important words that are usually not linked. Innovation and equity. Innovation and opportunity for those who may not otherwise have that opportunity. So I invite us to celebrate this milestone, not as the end of a project, but as the beginning of a meaningful and beneficial partnership between Ideal Institute and Stockton, one that opens new doors for our community and for the future leaders of South Jersey. Together, we are creating opportunities for students, for workers, for entrepreneurs to engage with AI, gain valuable skills, and build confidence, and in using the tools that are shaping tomorrow. And when those opportunities lead to Ideal Institute, coupled with Stockton or Atlantic CAIT, those educations grounded in critical thinking, ethical leadership, and an ethic of care mean that the possibilities are endless. This is how we prepare our region's workforce. not just to adapt to change, but to lead it. This is how South Jersey becomes a hub of innovation, where technology, education, and community come together to lift us all. These are challenging times. We have seen a lot unfold, not just in the last couple of days, but in the last couple of years. I have watched my students engage in both positive ways and in ways in which they are concerned, they are afraid, they are confused, they are angry. If we take all of that energy and we couple what we call at Stockton an ethic of care, the humanity of who we are. The 5 pillars of our ethic of care, by the way, are ensuring that everyone in our community is treated with dignity, respect, kindness, compassion, and civility. An ethic of care and technology are not mutually exclusive. They can be interconnected. If we think about our own lives, how have we utilized technology to make us better, to make our communities better? This is yet another opportunity and another tool to infuse humanity through an ethic of care with technology through AI. So let's celebrate this milestone and let's boldly write South Jersey's next chapter, one where every student, every worker, every dreamer has the resource they need to succeed. And as always, I do have to do this because, well, we are your public regional institution in the neighborhood. So as we say, soar higher, go Ospreys, and go Ideal. Thank you very, very much for your time. Thank you for the invitation. Appreciate you.